Is it correct to say that Indians lack innovation and invention? Well, I would surely agree with this very particular assumption that Indians do lack invention and innovation. And for that, I have the reasons also to justify as to why this statement is true. See, as far as Indians are concerned, I don't blame them for this kind of mentality. Because I believe that the parents and our social setup is responsible for whatever they do in the life. From the beginning of the childhood, parents do not teach risk-taking abilities they do not teach that risk-taking ability to their children. And the result is that a child grows up well protected. He or she does not want to take any risk there in the life. And when a child is born, most of the times it has been seen that the parents decide the future line of action on the part of that very particular child, which is very bad because we do not take into cognizance the skills of the child, the interest that he has in, and the way he wants or she wants to grow up there in the life. It is the parents who decide, and when they decide, then the feelings of the child get suppressed. In the western part of the world, parents leave the children to their fate and they actually ask them to decide what they want to do. But in our case, it is not the Indian children who decide, it is the Indian parents who decide. See, when we grow up, we want to get settled there in the life. Parents want the children to be settling down there in the life at an early age. Once they settle down, then they think of the marriages. Once the marriage happens, then the children follow. And once the children are there, then the parents of those very children think of putting them into the best schools. And as they put them into the best schools, then they think of having their own house. That's where the life ends. But in case of the people there in the West and other parts of the world, they just do not think about all these very things. When it is time for us to retire, it is time there for them to think of settling down there in the life. So they enjoy the life, they create the life, they basically know what is good there in the life and what is not good in their life. And we in India have not a single application or any single international brand. How ironical and how sad it is. We are supposed to be the most talented nation in the world. We are contributing to the different organizations in the world, be it NASA or be it Microsoft or be it Google. Wherever you see only Indians. And yet, we have not created any international brand image here in India. DeepSeek, it is in China. Telegram, it is going to be there in Russia. See this Facebook or Google or Microsoft, wherever you see, whatever you see, you will never come across any particular brand that is of the Indian origin. The reason, as I said, is because we do not want to invest our time, we do not want to invest our energy into that, as we have to settle down early in the life. And this is what parents are always looking for. The problem with the Indian parent mentality is that once the child is born, they think of the marriage and settlement there in the life. They do not think life beyond that. If there is a child who has the power of inventing anything, that child will be discouraged. This is where the problem is. And as far as other countries are concerned, they are being left completely free to decide what they want to do and what they do not want to do. In our case, it is not possible. It is the parents who will decide. Even when it comes to choosing the career, it is the parents who decide. When you are in 10th, 11th or 12th class, it is the parents who decide what kind of the subjects you have to. And most of the times it has been also seen what the parents could not achieve themselves, they want that to be achieved through the children. So because of that, there is a pressure. And then there is also one more mindset that you always want to play safe. You want to play safe because you do not want to take any risk. I'll give the example of Sabir Bhatia, who is responsible for developing Hotmail. Where is he now? He has sold it to some company. He could not survive and he could not capitalize on that. The reason is simple because he never wanted to take risk. When we get something, we say that we should be going there. Sundar Pichai or Satya Nadella or whoever is going to be there, the Indian top CEO. Why is it that they have not developed their own industry or company or developed something like that? Why is it that Mark Zuckerberg is there having this Facebook, but we could not do anything? When we have the talent, when our people are working there, it's because we are not being encouraged to think that way. We are not actively being we do not have any inspiration of being there in the world of invention and innovation. We believe that that's going to be completely risky And if you go there, there is no guarantee that you are going to meet success. I say that even if there is failure waiting for you, how does it matter? Today you are going to fail, tomorrow you are going to fail, but there is going to be a day when you are going to rise like the shining sun. So there is a possibility that you can have success. That's going to be the success that will endure. So in the end, I can tell you that if invention and innovation is lacking, it's basically because we do not have the risk-taking ability. Once we start taking the risks and then go on exploring the new territories, I'm 100% sure Indians will throw surprises across the world.